There are places in this world that exist beyond human understanding. Deep in the forests of North America, in the vast, untouched wilderness of national parks, something strange is happening. People are disappearing, not just one or two, not just the careless or unprepared. Hundreds, maybe even thousands, have vanished without a trace, leaving behind nothing but whispers in the wind and the chilling realization that something is out there, something patient, something watching. And the deeper we dig into these cases, the stranger the stories become. National parks are meant to be places of peace, of adventure, of breathtaking natural beauty. But they also hold secrets. The U.S. National Park Service has no official record of how many people have gone missing within its borders. Why? Could it be that the truth is too disturbing to admit? David Politis, a former police officer turned investigator, began documenting the strange disappearances in what would become known as the Missing 411 cases. These weren't your typical lost hikers or accidents. These were people who vanished within seconds, often in groups, sometimes under the watchful eyes of loved ones. No sound, no struggle, just gone. And when their bodies were found, if they were found at all, the details made no sense. Some were missing their shoes, despite freezing temperatures. Others were discovered miles away in places they never could have reached on foot. One thing was clear: these weren't normal disappearances. One of the most unsettling cases is that of Dennis Martin, a 6-year-old boy hiking with his family in the Great Smoky Mountains. It was broad daylight. The group stopped for a break, and Dennis ran just a few feet ahead to play hide-and-seek behind some bushes. But when his father called for him moments later, Dennis was gone. A massive search effort began. 1,500 people combing 56 square miles of rugged wilderness, helicopters, sniffer dogs, experts in tracking. They found nothing. Until a witness came forward. A family hiking miles away from where Dennis disappeared claimed they heard a blood-curdling scream, and then saw something. A tall, dark figure carrying something small, disappearing into the trees. Authorities dismissed it, saying it was impossible for anyone, especially a child, to cover such a distance in such a short time. But is it really impossible? Or is there something lurking in these woods, something capable of moving faster than we can comprehend? There is a phenomenon reported by countless hikers, hunters, and campers. They call it the silence. It starts as an eerie shift. Birds stop singing, the wind dies down, and suddenly, everything is quiet. Too quiet. Many describe the air becoming heavy, like something unseen is pressing down on them. Some feel watched. Others experience an overwhelming sense of dread. And in too many cases, this eerie silence is the last thing people remember before they disappear. What is causing this? A predator? A natural phenomenon? Or something else entirely? Something that only emerges when the world around it falls completely still. In 1976, Trenny Gibson, a high school student, went on a field trip to the Great Smoky Mountains. She was walking just 20 feet ahead of her group when she suddenly stopped. Her friends later said she turned her head as if she had seen something in the trees. Then, without a sound, she stepped off the trail and was never seen again. Searchers scoured the dense woods, but there were no signs of a fall, no evidence of animal attack. It was as if something had simply reached out and pulled her into the unknown. Whatever is taking people knows these forests better than we do. It moves silently. It picks its targets carefully. And when it strikes, there is no escape. Even experienced survivalists have vanished without a trace. Take Bart Schleyer, one of North America's most skilled outdoorsmen. In 2004, he was dropped off deep in the Canadian Yukon for a solo hunting trip. 3 weeks later, when his pickup pilot arrived, Bart was gone. His camp was untouched. His supplies were there. Even his hunting bow was neatly propped against a tree. But 60 feet away, searchers found something chilling. His teeth and bone fragments. No tracks, no blood, no sign of a struggle. As if whatever took him did so without making a sound. Some survivors of strange encounters in these forests report something even more disturbing than being lost. Time itself doesn't work the way it should. People have gone missing for days, only to be found with no memory of where they were. In some cases, they reappear in places search teams had already checked, multiple times. One hiker, lost for a week, was found with no recollection of what happened. His phone and watch, both completely drained of power, as if something had kept them from working. Is it just disorientation? Or is something out there capable of bending time? For years, authorities have downplayed these cases. They blame wild animals, bad weather, poor planning. But the truth is, they don't know. They don't know what's happening in these forests, or worse, maybe they do, and they're keeping it from us. Because if we knew what was really out there, would we ever step into the woods again? These stories are not meant to scare you away from nature, but they are a reminder. There are things in this world that remain unexplained, and some mysteries want to stay hidden. If you've had a strange experience in the woods, share your story in the comments. And if you want more chilling mysteries, subscribe now, because this is only the beginning.